Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Unifred. If you are new here, I create crochet content related tutorials. So today we'll be learning how to make this beautiful mesh dress. Very beautiful. I have to change the angle of my because my background is really bad. Please forgive me. So this is the tassels at the end. My client wanted it very long. This is a custom order. She wanted it very the holes very small because the inspo she gave me the holes were very big, and then this is the back. So she wanted a very low cut at the back, but I'll show you how to adjust it per how you want it. And then the tassels are also long here. Pardon me, I cannot put the full thing. I will shoot in a portrait mode and show you how it looks like better. So this is it. Let's get right into it. So we'll all be starting with the same number of chains. If you are a size large, you will add maybe extra 2 or 4 lab knots. Yes, that's what we call it. So I'll explain that. I'll be demonstrating because I recorded the first one and I made a huge mistake. So I went ahead to make this without recording. So I had to demonstrate. Please pardon with me. And there's some parts where I'll show this to explain more. So let's get on to the video. So I'm back to my working space and we'll be using a 3.5mm crochet hook. This is the hook size I use, but go ahead and use your recommended hook size for your yarn. Let me show you the yarn I used. Hold on, I'll be demonstrating with this yarn because I don't want to demonstrate with the white. My white is I have more white, but it will be dirty. I want to demonstrate with this yarn since I'm demonstrating. This is an elastic band and it's optional. I want to use it for the back so that the back is more tighter, but it's optional. If I do decide to do that, I just go through the back edges with a single crochet with the elastic thread in. You also need a tape measure and a pair of scissors and a lot of darning needles actually. So I don't have my darning needles with me right now. Oh, I found them. So these are my darning needles, and let me get the yarn to show you the yarn I used. So this is the yarn I used. I used Elite Yarn Art. It's an acrylic yarn, 100 grams. I used 2 of these, and almost 2 was done. And quite an amount of yarn was still left. This is what is left out of the second ball. So I used 1 ball of yarn to complete the whole dress and a little bit of the yarn to make about 3 tassels, and that's what was left. So this doesn't take yarn at all. I'm so happy with that fact. This is color 150, this is white. So let's start with the demonstration. So guys, we're going to be doing a love knot or someone stitch. So you just need you need to know how to make a single crochet. That's it. So to make a slip knot, turn your yarn, hold your yarn like this. I make my slip knots like different ways, so just go ahead and make your slip knot. But if you want to learn, just watch mine in slow mo. Insert your hook, and then while scrapping the joint, pull through, and then you've made your slip knot. So for the first Solomon knot, I'm going to chain 2. And then into the first chain you made, you're going to go in there with a single crochet. So insert your hook into that chain, pull through. You have 2 loops on your hook, pull through the remaining 2. Now for a Solomon's knot, you're supposed to pull through the loop like this, insert your hook into the yarn and pull through. Grab onto the yarn you pull through and insert your hook in there, pull through again, and then you make a single crochet. So this is how to make a love knot or a Solomon's knot. But my client wanted her hole to be very tiny, so I didn't make it like this. Some people can make their Solomon knots very long, very small, depending. But for us, for this project, we are making it very small. So you're going to pull just a little loop, just a little. See the loop I've pulled? It's just a loose loop. And then I pull my yarn through, and then I make a Solomon knot. It's little, trust me. This is it. And then continue. So you pull the yarn through, insert your hook, pull through, make a single crochet. This is my second. Make sure they're consistent though. Pull through, insert your hook, and then So go ahead and make 22 love knots. I don't remember, but I have four triangles in the middle. You understand what I mean? But I think I made 22 love knots. But if you're a size large, for size small to medium, please make the size large. You can make 24, 26, 28. It has to be an even number. Whatever how many you want to make, just make sure it's an even number. And you count with the love knots. These. So I made 22 chains, and then I had about 10 triangles in the middle. Let me go onto my mannequin and show you what I mean. So this is it. I made 24 love knots, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I made 22, sorry. 22, and I have 10 triangles in the middle. So this is what I'm using to count. So for size large, extra large, please make yours more than 22. I'll confirm the number, but since I'm demonstrating, I don't want to do the full 22. So I'll confirm the number and write it down below, but I'm pretty sure it was 22. So yeah. So I'm back, and then I had to do a longer one to a longer lab knot to make sure I did 22 chains. And yes, I did 22 chains. So please do 22 chains for size small to medium. Size large, please make it 24, depending on how thick your basket, 24, 26, 28. Just make sure it's an even number. So I have 12 lab knots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we count with the love knots. So now the next row, you're going to ignore the last single crochet that is on your hook and come to the second single crochet and then count 3 downwards. 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth you make a single crochet in there. So remember, you're ignoring this. You're counting this is assuming we are assuming this to be our first single crochet. So ignore this one on the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In the fourth, go in there with a single crochet. After you go into the fourth with a single crochet, make 2 love knots. So at this point, we know how to make our love knots, right? So when you make your 2 love knots, please make sure it's consistent. It's not consistent because I'm tired. I've been crocheting for a long time. So if you skip one single crochet into this, you skip one single crochet into the second single crochet, go in there with a love knot, and after you go in there with a single crochet. After you go in there with a single crochet, make 2 love knots again, make 2 love knots again, and skip one into the second, go in there with a single crochet, make 2 love knots, skip one into the second, go in there with a single crochet, and then we are left with our 2 love knots to make to end our row. So I'm doing half of what I did. I did 22 and I'm doing 12. That will give me 5 triangle spaces also. So I have my 2, skip one into the last single crochet, go in there with a single crochet. So now you can count your spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 spaces. So this is row 2 that we just did. We are done with row 2. Now I have some calculations here that only I understand, but I'm going to explain to you. It's a little rough. So I'll be increasing every 2 rows. The reason being that you have to, because this is a mesh, you cannot increase here and not increase here. So, and we are only increasing at the beginning of a row. If we have to increase, you cannot increase at the end of the row because of the way the pattern is. So this is our first row, second row, third row. Since we are increasing on the third row, we are increasing every 2 rows at the beginning of a row. Since we are increasing on the third row, we are going to be making 5 love knots. Please remember, whenever you are increasing, you make 5 love knots. So this is row 3. I'm going to go ahead and make 5 love knots. So I have 2, I'm sorry, this is a demonstration. If you want a clearer video, I'm sure this is clear enough. So I hope you bear with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 love knots, right? You turn your work, and you skip this first single crochet, and then you go into this single crochet. So you're always going to go into the single crochet that is not attached. See, we have some attached single crochets. So you're going to go in there. Sorry, didn't join well. You're going to go to the single crochet that is not attached with a single crochet, and we are going to repeat what we were doing. 2 love knots. So 2 love knots, and then you skip one single crochet into the second, which is a single crochet that has not been attached already. So that's the pattern. You're always going to go into a single crochet that has not been attached to give you the um, diamond shape. Yes, that's the name I was trying to get. So make another 2 love knots. So I'm showing you what my client wanted. She wanted a low cut. So with a low cut, I had to increase progressively. And if you don't want a low cut, you can increase on every row. Like from row 3, you can increase row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, row 7. When you get to your back side and it's okay, stop increasing and develop on it, and then the back will be covered for you. That's it. I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you don't want a low cut, you would have to increase every row so you get to your desired length to place on your body or your mannequin. Wherever it ends, you stop increasing. Please stop increasing at at an odd number of row, because you started increasing on an odd number of row just to make it even because of the way the pattern is. So you do that, and then when you get to your back length where you want the back to close, just stop increasing, build upon your work. I'll show you what to do when you are not increasing. That's for row 5 and 6. So I'm increasing at every 2 rows, so stick around for row 5 and 6 to know what to do. That's a non-increasing row. I hope I'm not boring with my play to talk. So after your 2 love knots, you go in there and just repeat the process. So our only difference is going to be at the beginning of the rows. So this marks the end of row 3. This marks the end of row 3. This is how it's supposed to be. Which stretches, you see, makes sense. So don't go in here again. So we've ended row 3, and for row 4, we are increasing every 2 rows. So row 4, we have to increase. I've seen I've written increase there. So I'm going to make 5 love knots again. 1. So I have 5 love knots. Turn your work, and as usual, you're skipping this single crochet that's been joined and going to a single crochet that has not been joined. Make 2 love knots, and then you repeat the pattern. So make 2 love knots to the end of this row, and then come back. Remember, your love knots have to be uniform at least. Mine is not a little bit, but I'm just demonstrating. Not have time to like make a uniform. So I'm going to crochet to the end of this row. Remember, 2 love knots. Don't make a mistake and make only 1 love knot or only 3 love knots, or else you have to unravel your work, because the way the pattern is, one mistake and it's looking odd, and you will not even know how to continue from that row. I made a mistake of making one row just 1 love knot. I had to unravel and go all the way back another one time. I made 3 love knots instead of 2, and I suffered. So please make sure you don't make that mistake. So I'm at the end of row 4. Yeah, that's row 4. So skipping this, and instead this, you're going to go in there with a single crochet. Now, because we made 5 love knots, we have to go in here again. So you're going to make a normal 2 love knots. Skip one as usual into the second, go in there. Simple, very easy. So you see, it's going to go like this, slowly, slowly, slowly. So you've seen the way my back looks like. And I was thinking of going around the edge with a single crochet. I'm still thinking about it. So uh, after this, with a single crochet with an elastic. So after this, we are on row 5. So for row 5, we are not increasing. So for the not increasing row, go ahead and make just 3 love knots. Just 3 love knots. Okay. After you make 3 love knots, 1, 2, 3, see, you're counting the loops you stretched. After you make 3 love knots, turn your work and then you repeat the process. So basically that's it. I'll put the measurements. I'll tell you how many times I increase. So I'll write that on the screen. So I'm going to do that. I did that for up to row 37. You can see over here up to row 37. I increased for the last time for row 35, 36, and for row 37 I did not increase. No matter what, please make sure you end with a non-increasing row, because it's very confusing if you end with an increasing row because of the next step we'll do. So you have to end with a non-increasing row so that everything is uniform. This is row 5 we are completing. And this mesh, you can finish it in a day like I did. The tassels wasted a little time, but you have to be careful with the tassels as well. I'll show you how to do the tassels. It's very easy. You can make your tassels long or short depending. And then as you can see, the mesh dress is very short. That's how my clients wanted it. I really like how it turned out. If you want a custom order, feel free to contact me and I'll make one for you. I ship worldwide as well. So after this, you know what to do. You have to make allocation for the increases we did. That is what is going to make the dress look nice. So you skip one single crochet and no single crochet going there with a single crochet. Please make sure you're going to single crochets, not the love knots. So have you seen how the dress is forming? Yes, so please repeat row 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. That's all. So how many rows I have? Do not be confused. Just count with the edging like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meaning I'm going on to row 6. So for row 6, I'm going to make 3 love knots. So this is 1, 2, 3. So whenever you're confused, just count from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn your work, and because it's a non-increasing row, I'm going to go in there with a single crochet, and then you repeat your pattern. So go ahead and then do yours till row 37 if you want a very low cut like mine. You take your measurements, you measure from your collarbone to where you want the measurement to end, and then you stretch this, not so much, just a little. Make sure it fits that measurement, and you can stop there. And please make sure it's a non-increasing rule. That's very important. So with the first option, you can go with that, do the same. So because I'm at my own non-increasing rule, I'll stop, and this is it. So now you repeat. I did after 37. That's it. This is the end of my rule for the demonstration. So now what I will do is for row 38, I joined, but I did 2 love knots before joining. So now the trick here is I'm at the lower waist, right? The measurement is from the collarbone to the lower waist where my client wants a low back to end. Do yours to where you want your low back to end. And if it's before your waist, you would you would have to progress before you join. I don't know how, I didn't make allocations for that. So now if you do get to mine place, where's the low cut, you take the measurement of that lower back, and then my client's lower back was 32. So for the 32, you need half of that measurement, right? And then that is 16. I wrote it down because so that's a 16. So you have to place your work here. First of all, when you place it here, it should be stretching to your waist measurement. My client's waist measurement was 37.5. I ignored the 5 when I was dividing into 2, so I got 13.5. So when you place it here, I think it was at 10, but it stretches to 13.5, and that's perfect for me. Now, for the joining part, you make as many love knots as you want. It should be even, please. Even love knots. So I did only 2 love knots because I went very low. So please do 2 love knots. 1 and 2. And then you join. So you just take your work like this, and then you join into this single crochet. Assuming you skip this and into this, you go in there. Then you can make a slip stitch or you make a single crochet. Make a single crochet because you may go into this again. So this is where your stitch markers come in place. I really hope I'm not confusing you and I'm very clear. So this is where your stitch markers come into place. You are going to mark here because you need to know, you'll be working in around, and you cannot identify your beginning row and your ending row. So you're going to use this to gauge that. So when you join, right, place it in front of your tape measure like this. Stretch it. It should stretch to your measurement. So I use the lower waist, which is 32, and it should stretch to 16. So mine stretched. I think I had more than this because I was trying to stretch to more than 18 or so. So it has to stretch to that measurement. So if you need to add more love knots, please do. You can add 4, 6, even. Now, when you add your love knots, you are going to do the same thing you've been doing. Make 2 love knots, and now you're going down. So you have to keep in mind measurements for the hips. So I've made 2 love knots, and I'm skipping this, and into this I'm going into there with a single crochet. Make 2 love knots. Here may look a little rough at the beginning, and we'll be doing some small increases as well. So you see here, meaning, sorry, I joined wrongly. See, this is why it's confusing. I did some small attachment because I looked for videos on how to join and I could not find it. So pardon me. If I join here and make 2 love knots, that is it. Yeah, that's it. So don't know why I confused myself. Yeah, skipping this and sorry, yeah, skipping this into this is the same thing I did. I just didn't calculate it right. And then you go all the way around with the love knots. So for that, let me show you what I did. So for that, we are done with this. For that, I increased every 1 row. So I joined at 38, did row 39, 40, 41, and then 42. 42, I tried to make the knots just slightly a little bit bigger so that it stretches for the hip. It makes allocation for the hip, but that's optional because if you're not careful, the spaces will be too obvious. So after you're done for row 43, I made 3 love knots, extra tiny, to increase, and then I continued. So I'm going to go all the way around and show you how I increased, and then I'll tell you how many rows you should increase and how you should end your row. and we'll be done. I'm sorry this video has to be very short. It's a demonstration, so please bear with me. So I'm going all the way around, and after I go all the way around, I'll show you how to join and start your work again before I show you how to increase, because that's also very important. I really hope everything I'm saying is clear, guys. I really did not make allocations for the rest of the day only want a low back, so the idea of what I gave you earlier is what you go with, and then you just play around the stitch. So as you can see, I'm making my knots bigger. I'm tired, so I did not sleep. I really wish I could have recorded my progress. So now you see we have come to the beginning of where we started, the end of where we started. So we're going to make 2 love knots, and please have a lot of stitch markers. You have 2 options. In case you make a no, you don't have 2 options. Just have a lot of stitch markers, so you don't remove the stitch marker. And now since you are skipping this, you are going to go in here with a single crochet, right? So now you grab another stitch marker, and then you mark that side. Reason being that if you make a mistake and you unravel, it's easy to find where you ended and began your row, and it's also easy for you to know where you ended your row. So I'll show you another trick. As you have joined, you see some progressive lines that link throughout. Have you seen? And as you're increasing, that line may be distorted just a little bit, so you may find it hard to end your row. That's why it's important to keep the stitch markers here. And the trick is you can keep them on the same line, just to know. So I'm going to go around again. So that's it. You're just going all the way around. There's no beginning, there's no ending. So if you don't use your stitch marker, you will be lost. I used stitch markers, a lot of them, and when I was done, I just removed them. If you don't have stitch marker, get a different colored yarn and use it to mark every side, please. So I'm going all the way around for another time. For the increasing row, I'm going to show you 2 or 3 rows for the increasing row. Like I said, I did up to 41. I'm going to put everything on the screen, don't worry. I did up to 41, 42, sorry, and then I started increasing for 43, 44, no increase, 45 increase, 46 no increase, 47 increase, 48 no increase, 49 increase, 50 no increase, and then I stopped increasing, and I did from 51 to 64 rows. I think I thought I had overcounted, but I counted again and I got to 64 rows. So this is 45. I used the measurement. In all, I was supposed to have 23 or is it 23 or 26 inches? One of those. So yeah, just make yours as long as you want it. So for the increasing row, remember when we're increasing at the edges, we did 5 love knots. For the increasing rows, this one we are not doing 5 love knots. We're going to do 3 love knots because we are working around. We are not doing it edges by edges. So we are going to make 3 love knots that are supposed to be extra tinier than the ones you drew, so it doesn't create up a big space. So after you do your 3 love knots, right, go on and then skip your work like normal. This is it. And then continue to do 2 love knots. Sorry, 2 love knots till you get to the end of this row. So I'll show you what to do when you get to the end of this row. So for the joining part, we are increasing every 1 row just for the hips. So please, as you are increasing, make sure it stretches to the hip measurements. So this is why how come I was stretching to 18 because the hip measurement I do not remember. I did not write it down here too. So yeah, I think her hip was 38, 39. So supposed to stretch between here, and then it was fine. It didn't stretch quite to the measurement, but again it's mesh, so I wanted it tight on her. So yeah. So I'm almost done. Yeah, skipping. So this is the last row before last but one row. So over here you are going to join, make two love knots again. And you see the stitch marker helps you to identify it. So yeah, we're going to skip this obviously and go into this place with a single crochet. Um, I think I'm a little confused myself. Hold on a bit. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. So I'm going to mark here, and now you have two love knots. You have two love knots in here still. So this part is a little bit confusing. So you make two love knots. This time you are going to skip this and go into this single crochet, right? This single, you're not going in here. You're going to this single crochet. It hasn't been joined because we made three love knots when we started the row. See, so you get a little bit of a bigger space here, but it doesn't matter. It's not so obvious. And you go around your tag. So right now we are on, assuming that was our row 43. Right now we're on row 44, going all the way around. So you have to be very attentive with the stitch. So making two love knots. That's it. I increased, and yeah, you're skipping this and into this. You're going in there, which will look weird. That's why your love knot should also be uniform, please. Another important reason why it should be. Don't be lazy like me if you want your work to turn out nice, because my actual work did turn out nice. So you're going to increase after every one row so it stretches to your hip measurements, and then you stop. Yeah. So I'm going to finish up row 44, and then I'll show you how to increase one last time, and obviously you have to end with an increasing rows, because if it stretches to your hip measurements, that's it, you stop and you just build upon your rows. So now I'm at the end of row 44. Place a stitch marker there. As you can see, it's all on the same line. So if you want to, you don't have to count. You don't have to repeat the stitch markers. You can just look on the line and then do that. And now see, because everything the progressive line I was talking about, it distorts once you start increasing. So we have one progressive line here, and then it shifted here and here. So now we have two branches over here. That's to show you that yes, we are increasing. So now for row 45, we are going to increase again. So I'm going to show you how to increase again. Chain up, sorry, make three love knots, not chain up. Make three love knots, and as usual, you skip this and then into this, you go in there with a single crochet, and then you repeat, you go all the way around. So this one is your non-increasing row that you come and tackle this problem. So just go all the way round, 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 round. Round, 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 the wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. So you go round all through the yarn. Yeah, I'm at the end of this row. And as usual, grabbing a stitch marker, placing them there. My stitch markers, some are broken. Yeah, I should throw that away. So that's the end of row 45. We don't need that anymore. So for row 46, I will continue. So you see, no increase. So that's when we are going to tackle the place with increase. That so this is it. We've already crocheted on one of them. That's where we ended the row. So this is supposed to help you end your row. And when you end your row, you just slip stitch and it will look normal. So pull out knots and you're going to go into this single crochet with a single crochet and you continue. So please repeat row 43, 44, 45 till you get to your desired length. So I'm going to go all the way around and um, that's it. We are done with our dress. We're going to go all the way around without increasing again. When you are done, build upon your the length. If you want yours to be very long, build upon it. My client wanted their hair is very short, so I've forgotten the measurement. It was 20, between 23 to 26. I think it was 26 inches. So I'm done increasing in this case, right? Even when you're done increasing, please still place your stitch markers till you get to your desired length. If you don't have enough stitch markers, remove the first one and place it back. So like if you have 5 stitch markers, just continue replacing them. Remove them from the last edge, remove and place, remove and place. So now you've gotten to your hip measurement. You don't need anything more. You just need a length, the length of the dress. That's all. I'm going to go all the way around. So I'm at the end of this row, and to end the row, you're just going to slip stitch. Pin up one, and then you cut off your yarn. And then trust me, it's going to level up with everything else. So this is the dress. After you are done and you cut off your yarn, I am going to cut off my yarn as well. You cut off your yarn, you weave in your end. Because it's the mesh, please just make sure that the knot is tight and then you cut it off. After, you're going to put this on your body or on your mannequin. I definitely, it's not mine, so I see the mannequin. Measure how long you want this to be, right? Mine was pretty long, and then I just use a mannequin. Do 3 of these. Just place it like this. I don't know if you have an easier method, you can go ahead and do the easier method, but I did it mine this way. So the tassels was 3 together. So when you have your 3 together, you're going to grab on the spaces that you were usually going into with your single crochet, the single crochets that were not joined, so the shape comes out more. Do not go into the joint single crochet, go into the single crochet that was not joined, the ones that we're going into. So I'm going to demonstrate just one. I'm going to go in here, insert your hook in there, pull them through, make sure they are even, pull up the loop and insert your 2 fingers inside and then pull through to secure it. Make sure they are even. Yeah, and then you repeat. So you are done going all the way around and then you use a steamer to measure and then cut off the excess yarn you don't need, and that's it. And for the neck, I made a long chain, a very long chain, and then I passed it through the neck. So let me just show you. For this one, I'm not going to cut off my yarn. So after you're done, just remove your chains. Hey, your stitch marker, sorry. So now it's the back that I may be doing with an elastic to make it tighter. My client did not say she wants that, but I was thinking I can add it just to have a snatched back, you see. So you come here into this corner single crochet, insert your chain, you have to insert it carefully. I use the same hook I used to crochet to insert it. So, and then continue inserting through the single crochets or the love knots. It doesn't really matter. It will hide. See, you can easily pull through. So you repeat through the single crochets till you get here, and then you're done with your work. So now the back is where I'm going to go all the way around with a single crochet and this elastic. I'm going to try off camera. If it works, I'll come back and show you, just in case you want to do the same to yours. So this is the dress, and then this is the elastic. I tried crocheting, but it looked very horrible. So I am going to be sewing the elastic, and since this is white, so please get the same color of elastic you'll be using, or you can get black if it's a different color. Mine is white. So I'm going to insert my needle in here, and then I just go in and out, in and out. Um, I'm going to do it all the way around. I'll do it to this point and then do halfway to this point and tie here. I don't know yet. The last one, I forgot I usually do this. So this will create a knot for you to just secure it and then cut off the excess. And I'll do the same thing for the other side. So this is the back. I don't know if you noticed, but it's tighter now. Tighter now. Like, come on, see this. So like there's a flow. So go ahead. If you use a white yarn like me, go ahead and use a yarn is elastic. If not, use any other color. If black can be hidden or white can be hidden, go ahead. I don't know if the elastic comes in other colors, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.